So, guys, today you are going to hopefully finish off your fruit game. So the first thing you'll need to do is to open up GameMaker Studio. When it opens up, it should hopefully have recent files fruit game. If it doesn't, you need to go to Open and then navigate to that game. So I have my GameMaker, and if you just click Fruit Game, there's the project, and you then say Open. Now, just reminding you what we've done. I'm going to press the play button over here, and it will go through and check that everything's loaded properly. And here we have the room set up. We have the apple that gets created and it starts, and then we have the bombs randomly appearing. So, what else we did? We had sprites for all of these objects here. We also set them up as objects. So remember, sprites are just the image. The object is what you put into the room. Speaking of room 0, and the rooms are just the levels. Okay? Now, as far as the code goes, if we go to Object Apple, we've added an event, and we chose Create. And when we create, we start moving in a direction. Now, we've selected all of these. At the moment, it is just choosing up. I'm not sure why that is. We'll have to sort that out later on. With a speed of 5. Okay? And we haven't set relative. We've said add event, and that's a collision we chose, with the wall. So when we collide with the wall, we're going to go down to in move. We're looking at jump section, and it's this button here, which is bounce against solid objects. We don't want to bounce precisely, and we do want it to be solid object. Because we chose solid objects, we then need to go to wall and just make sure we have ticked solid. All right. So, lastly, we said left pressed. So it's the mouse button. Add event, mouse, and then left pressed. So when we press that, so that means when we click on the apple, we want to set the score relative to 10. So we go to the score tab, and that's this button here. Set the score to 10 and relative. Now remember, relative means that it looks at what the value is beforehand and then adds this value to it. So if you want to add 10 to the score, we say relative. If you want to lose score at any time, then we would make that negative. So if we click on a bomb, for example, we might want to lose score or something like that. But in this case, we want it to be add score. Right, so that's what happens here. So what we now need to do, though, is for our other fruit, we need to change those, or we need to create it so they move. So we're going to do a similar thing to what we did here. So if I go to banana, I'm going to do strawberry next. Strawberry is going to be a little bit harder. So add event, create, start moving in any direction. Strawberries, as I said, they're a little bit harder. They're going to be worth more points. So they're going to go, I think, 7, because the apple went 5. But we might make strawberries 8. And then say, okay, add event. We're going to have a collision with the wall. If we collide with the wall, we're just going to bounce, not precisely solid objects. That's fine. Then add event, mouse, left pressed. So if that happens, we want to score. Okay, these are going to be worth 20 points. Relative. Okay. So set the score relative, and also we want to move, we want to jump to a random position. This one here, jump to random, we want to apply that to the strawberry, so that's fine. Remember the 32 by 32, so it fits into the squares on the screen. And then we just say, okay. Now if we go to the room and put a strawberry in here somewhere, I'm going to pick a strawberry, there we go, and press play. There we go. See how it's going faster? Right. Still pretty easy to catch though. Really not sure why they're only going up and down. We'll come back to that though. So, you then need to repeat that for cherry and for banana. So I'm just going to open a Word document for you. And I'm going to let you make the cherry and the banana. So, just so we're clear though, bigger, right. Apple is going to have a speed of 5 and points 10. Okay? So that means, so strawberry has a speed of 8 and points of 20. Okay? So then let's just do some columns here. Can't see columns that used to be here. Okay, we won't worry about columns, might make it just a little bit smaller. So it fits for you guys. There we go, right. What is it? So we then got so this will be the banana. It's going faster again. It's going to go 12, but it's going to be worth 50 points. And then the cherry, it's going to be going 16 and be worth 100 points. Alright, so they're your options there. Apple speed 5 points 10, strawberry speed 8 points 20, banana speed 12 points 50, and cherry speed 16 points 100. Now, this would be a good time to pause the movie and go and do that. Alright, so pause it, come back when you're ready. Now, back to the fruit game. So you've added in all your objects. Now just going through the bomb. With the bomb's always going to create in the same spot. Okay, it's always going to get created in 0, 0. If you remember, the room has coordinates, and which is outlined here. So the bomb always gets created at 0, 0, which is the top left-hand corner of the screen. So what we need to do now is make sure that whenever that bomb gets created, that it jumps to a new spot. So to make that happen, all we had to do was say bomb create, add event create. Now you will have already done this. Okay, I mean object bomb, well hopefully you have. And when it gets created, we just jump to a random position, which is in jump, under the move menu, right? And we snap 32, 32, which is the grid lines. It will then pick a random spot within your room and it will jump there. all right, whenever it gets created. Now, remember, actually making the code to create the bomb is in this object called object controller that we set up. Okay. Now, how that works. This is an object that has no sprite attached. There's no picture. It just sits in your room and runs part of your game. At this point, when it gets created, it sets an alarm. An alarm's like a countdown timer. Alarm 0 gets set to 90 steps, which is about 3 seconds. All right. When that alarm goes off, we want to create instance of object bomb at 00. All right, and it will then, so as soon as it gets created, it runs the code, and that's where it jumps to a new spot. Once you've created it, you need to reset the alarm, so alarm 0 to 90, so that it jumps back to that new spot. Also, it resets, so it just goes off again after 3 seconds. All right, so that's a pretty straightforward thing to be doing there. All right, so that's your bomb working. What we need to do now is go through and add music in and the score table. Okay, so to put your music in, we firstly need to create that sound. So if we go to sounds, we right click and go create sound. Now, I'm going to load this sound. Alright, so going back through it, same place the sprites were kept. So you've got to go to C drive and then program files. Now I think you guys have to go to the x86 program files and then down to Yo-Yo Games and you'll find them in there. So for me though, I go to Game Maker. Now, in tutorials, no, sorry, sounds do. Right, in sounds, tutorial 1, let's click an explosion. I actually just want to try and find some kind of music here. You can change this later on if you like, but I'm trying to find something here that I like the look of. None of these are really working for me, to be perfectly honest. I'm going to use, I will make click though just to show you. Right, sound, so SND underscore click. Right, we've loaded the sound, so you say OK. And if you want to hear it, stop button comes in handy. Okay, that's just that sound looping. Okay, so that's that one. I'm going to go create sound, load sound, and yeah, let's put explosion as well. So let's spell it. Right, so that's right. So now I need to find some sound that I like for my actual music for my game. So let's have a look. Don't like any of those. Alarm, applause, baby beep, boom shot, breaking. So these are all the sounds in here. I don't like any of them, to be perfectly honest. So what I'm actually going to do is I've got some MP3s that I've obtained. Where did I put them? Right, I don't remember where I saved them. Oh, there we go. Bit of Guns N' Roses area, that'll do me. Oh, no. Do that one. Okay. Now, so I'm going to call that SND underscore music. So I say OK. So now I've got 3 sounds here: click, explosion, and music. I'm going to go to Object Controller. And in this create one, it's pretty simple. I think it's in control. No, there it is, in main 1, sorry. This button here is basically play sound. Sound, I want to play sound, music, loop. Yeah, look, I'll loop it so it just continues. So true, and you say okay. Now this object is already in my room. There it is. So if I go play, it'll take a minute. A bit longer to load now because of the music. And this will just play as part of my game. Here we go. Clearly you're going to find different music. Alright, not saying that that was the most appropriate music for this game in any way, shape or form. But other things we need to do with sound. When I click on the apple, for example, right, left press, get that. I also want to play the sound click. So main 1, sound, click, loop, false, okay. And same thing for the banana, sound, click, cherry, you get the idea. Now what I haven't done, go to the room, I need to get my banana and cherry in there as well. Right, so if we just play this, you'll see everything moving at different speeds. Clearly, as I said before, it's a big music file that I've used, so it's going to take a lot longer to load every single time. So you need to keep that in mind. Right, so that's that part there. Now what I haven't done is the bomb. The bomb's there, but I haven't said what needs to happen. So when I click on it, so add event, mouse, left press, right, when that happens, well, game's over, you lose. So we're going to go to, firstly, play a sound. So that sound is going to be explosion. And we don't want it to loop. Next thing we're going to do is we want to show the high score table. So you've got to show the score so you know what you got. Score, that's this button here. Oh, that's clear. Sorry, wrong thing. This is another thing that they've moved on me. Right, either way, we'll come back to that. So what you want to happen now is you want the game to end. So you don't need the score caption info. You want to end the game, or you can maybe restart the game. I like also putting in a message. There you go. And there are different options. You can end the game or you can restart the game. I might actually go restart the game, which is here. Restart the game and it just continues. So that's all we're going to get through today, I would think. What I want to go through next week with you is to do the scoring, actually display the score. I'll show you how to do that, and then we'll start on another game.